Hi, Gaye DeRusso with the Majestic Rider. So today I want to talk to you a little bit more about horses and just basic understanding of the horse, which in the end will help you with your training and help you with your trail riding. So many of you know that horses are prey animal and we are predators, but sometimes people don't really understand the difference. When you're training horses, when you're trail riding, you want to think like the horse thinks. The hard part is we're always thinking like predators. You want to start thinking like a prey animal. The prey animal is quick on its feet, it sees different than we see, and its first instinct in survival is flight, which means to run away. So with horses, if they get scared and they can run away, that is the first thing they will do is run from danger because that's what their brain tells them to do. If they cannot get away, then they will turn to fight, which means that they will act up and start getting aggressive to try to get away. So those are the two options. Now, some horses have more instinct in flight, and some have more fight in them. It's just the way that they are. You can train horses to deal with things in different ways, but you can never truly take away their instincts. So some horses are just going to have a higher flight mode versus other horses, and some will have a higher fight mode. So the first thing is to figure out which one is your horse. With the prey animals, again, if they run, they don't get eaten, and they will stop when they get to safety, and when they're comfortable, they'll put their head down and start eating again. That's what happens in the wild over and over. Run from danger, and then eat and drink so we survive. So when you're riding the horse, you have to try to help it as much as you can not to go into the flight mode and not to go into the fight mode. Okay, so there's two things we're trying to keep the horses out of to keep us safe. So what do we do to help the horse not go into flight? One, we expose them to lots of different things, and this takes a long time. We expose them to things, show them it won't hurt them, and we do it over and over again until the horse trusts us, so we build trust, and the horse becomes confident that that object is not going to hurt it, and they no longer need to run from it. Now again, each horse is different, so some horses you can show them something once, and they're over it. Other horses you have to show it to them 1,000 times or more, or if they don't trust you because they've been handled bad in the past, they're always just a little bit like, is it going to get me today? So you have to keep trying to convince your horse that the object is not going to get them. So the more you just sensitize them, the more the horse will accept things moving around it and knowing it's not going to eat it. So that's why I expose the horses in the videos. You'll see to bikes and baby carriages and traffic and dogs, and my dogs have foxtail hats on. Just odd, weird things that the horse otherwise wouldn't be used to. So we expose it over and over again until they become comfortable with those situations. The hard part with training and getting new horses is people think that horses are just fine. They see them in the video, they don't see them react to anything, so they get the horse home, they don't prepare it, and then they have problems, and the horse goes into that instinct mode and goes into flight, and the horse spins, spooks, does something, and the person falls off and then thinks the horse is dangerous. Most of the time, it's just the horse was unprepared, it doesn't know you, it doesn't trust you, and it is not confident with its own ability. And so it runs to get away from the object. So when you get a new horse, you want to do lots of groundwork, build up that horse's trust. Walk it around your property, walk it around the barn that you're at, and then hand walk it on the trail, see how it reacts to things. When you find out there's things that that horse is reacting to and scared of, you go home and practice those things. So if it's spooked at a hiker with sticks, you get some sticks, and you practice walking around the horse with sticks, deliver its hay with your sticks, deliver its grain with your stick, and just do everything with those sticks so the horse just starts to think it's a normal thing and it's not going to hurt him. Same thing, it's afraid of a bike. Start riding the bike all around the horse. Bring its hay, bring its grain. The more that object has food with it, the less likely that horse is to spook. So you're trying to see where the holes are in that horse, what it hasn't seen before, because no horse has seen everything, and then trying to help that horse get that confidence in you and its confidence in itself that it does not need to run away. That is prey. Again, they run to get away from things, and then they stop when there's safety. As predators, the hard part is when we get mad at the horse or the horse does something bad, what do? We become the predator, and we become more aggressive usually, okay, which scares the horses more. So you'll see people overpowering the horses, telling them they just got to take it. They will hobble them and desensitize them, or tie them to things they can't get away from. First, we'll hold it together for so long because it knows it can't get away, but sometimes they'll start shaking. That's fear, okay? And then the horse is not trusting you. So you're losing trust, and it's help you when you need help because it's fearful of you. And even though you're exposing it to things, you're not building its confidence. You're actually taking its confidence away and beating it down by doing things like that. Because as predators, we like to hold things down. So when the horse gets really scared and it can't hold it together anymore on trail because there's multiple objects coming towards it, that's when the horse will blow, and the horse might blow up and rear up, or it might buck you off, or it might bolt down the trail. That's usually a horse that has taken what it could take, and then it can't take anymore, and it just has to find an escape. And that's the difficult part is predators, we try to overpower things, hold things down, beat them up, and it just doesn't work out well. Yes, you have to bring pressure up sometimes to teach the horse, but you also have to give the horse rewards. You have to tell them they're doing the right thing, give them relief when they do the right thing, and give them some enjoyment of their life because they do so many things for us. As predators, again, the hard part is they let us ride them, but when we get scared, we clamp onto them. And so with some horses, when you clamp on and they know you're a predator, all of a sudden their mindset changes from being relaxed into fear. So even if they were scared of something and then you clench on more, their brain tells them something is trying to eat you. It is on your back. Get it off. And again, some horses will have a higher instinct of that than others, but that's why they will buck people off, or they need to run faster, so they buck you off for that reason. You're always trying to remember that the horse is a prey animal. Never, ever forget that, because that's sport. That's what many people do. They forget because the horses do so many things for us and they tolerate so many things that we forget that it's a prey animal. Are you going to eat my fingers? Yes, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. So the more you try to think on the horse's level instead of making the horse think on our level, the easier the communication between the two of you will be, right? So if I think like sport, when I see something scary, I'm going to be more able to help him versus just trying to beat him up and making him go buy things. I have to be like, oh, he's probably never seen this before. Let me help him get it through it. Let me build his confidence. Maybe let's go up and see what that object is. Because he's a smart horse, and if I show it to him, he'll probably get over it and not worry about it again. Each horse is different, so you have to figure out your own horse. But a prey animal is only afraid of things it doesn't know, okay? It's not afraid of the bucket and other stuff. It might be afraid of the people behind it. But once they know an object is not going to hurt them, they're not afraid of it anymore. And that's why you'll see them on animal channels, you know, they're drinking water and there's a lion right next to the zebra and they're fine because the lion is in drinking mode and not in predator mode. So when you're working with horses, you're always trying to stay relaxed and calm because they're reading all of that energy. The more you go slow, the more you get creepy like this, trying to be careful because the horse is scared, the more you turn into a predator and the more you scare the horse in the end. So you're just trying to do things. You want to do it slowly, but you want to do it relaxed. And you don't want to hide things from the horse, okay? That's not a good way to do it. And that's what a lot of people do with trailer loading. They try to get in the box and then slam the doors and then don't know why the horse is freaked out in there. Because he thinks he's going to be eaten in the box. He can't escape. So with prey, they feel better when their feet are moving. So if a horse is scared, like you have bites and things coming by and you have to stand completely still, because there's nowhere to go, it's much better if you get off the horse because the horse will feel more confident with you on the ground versus you on its back. And it knows you can't run as fast, so it knows it doesn't really need to get away because you're going to die first. But if you're sitting on the horse and you're holding it still and it can't move away, that's when the horses get very anxious and they will rear up and do all sorts of crazy things. So you want to try to let that horse move its feet, side pass it, disengage its hindquarters, move its shoulder. So you're doing something, but you're kind of staying in the same spot. And that will help that horse feel better because its feet are moving like it's running away. Its feet are moving, so it disperses that energy and it'll get more to the thinking side of the brain.